Hey, what's up, everybody? So there's been a lot of rumors going on with the Suicide Squad. Well, at first it was supposed to be a sequel, and now that it's under the direction of James Gunn, um, supposedly now it's a whole like reboot. It's not just going to be a sequel with the same characters and whatever. It's supposedly going to be a whole new Suicide Squad movie, as if the first one never existed. Which, if you guys have watched my videos before, you know I wasn't the biggest Suicide Squad fan. There were some things I liked about it, but it's definitely not one of my more beloved DC movies. But there were some good cast choices. You know, Will Smith, Margot Robbie. So Will Smith and Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn and Deadshot seem to be like the standout characters for the Suicide Squad movie. And the latest rumors have been that certain people are not going to return to reprise their roles in the new Suicide Squad movie. And the latest one that people have been talking about for the past like 24 hours or so is that Idris Elba is supposedly in talks to replace Will Smith as Deadshot. Now, for me, this is conflicting because I really like both of them. I really like Will Smith, really like Idris Elba. He was definitely a standout in Suicide Squad, even though I didn't love the movie that much. But I still think that Will Smith is I don't know, he's a big name actor to get recast. I mean, obviously Ben Affleck is also, I guess, but still, you know, like, I don't know, I just don't understand why they're doing a reboot for that movie. Like, yeah, it wasn't maybe a favorite for a lot of people, but it still made a pretty good amount of money for not being a favorite, you know what I mean? And they kind of did, it was like a similar situation, right, what happened with Suicide Squad. It was similar to what happened with Justice League. As far as, like, you know, chopping up his movie, Dave and the director's movie, not really releasing what people were expecting as far as, like, what we saw in trailers and marketing and things like that. Maybe not quite to the extent that that happened with Justice League, but it was similar. I guess maybe it was a little bit more similar to what happened with BVS. I'll compare it to that instead. It wasn't as drastic as the whole debacle with Justice League, but I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it because I don't understand why they're doing a reboot, first of all. And even if you, like, I don't know. I'm just confused. What are they going to do with Harley Quinn? Because Margot Robbie is already going to have another movie with her character in Birds of Prey. And so are they going to have, like, a different actress play her? Or, I don't know. I thought I saw something about earlier that she's just going to have, like, a minimal role in the movie. But that's going to upset people because whether you really like Suicide Squad or you're like me and it wasn't really your favorite, but you still like Deadshot and Margot and Harley Quinn, then either way it's upsetting because she was a favorite for a lot of people no matter how they felt about the movie, just like Deadshot. And so I feel like if they whether they recast her or give her a minimal role, people are not going to be happy with that, you know, because she was one of the main characters in the first one. And just because it's a reboot, people are not going to just, like, completely dismiss the fact that she was such a major character in the first one that we got, right? Especially because most people liked her. And so either way, I think people are going to be upset about it or dissatisfied, you know? So, I don't know. I just don't understand. I don't get it. I don't think I don't think they really know what they want to do with the DC franchise. I think in the beginning they had a better idea when the whole universe was kicked off. They were more confident in, like, the direction they were going. And then they got backlash and they just completely, like, I don't know, they went off the deep end. They just got too scared to take risks. They got too scared to, you know, listen to what fans of Man of Steel and BVS liked. and they just got afraid to be criticized by critics, for lack of a better word, I guess. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know why. First of all, why are you going to get James Gunn after his whole controversy? Like, just because he was a Marvel director? Like, look how that worked out with Justice League. That did not do them any favors by doing that. By getting by bringing on Joss Whedon, it didn't help them, you know. So I don't know why they would get James Gunn. I mean, they say that they don't want to be like Marvel and they want to do their own thing and be different and be unique, but then they go and get Marvel directors. Like, even if there wasn't a whole, you know, like the whole controversy thing that happened with James Gunn and him being a freak, creep, I still wouldn't be happy with him doing any DC movie, because I don't really like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies all that much. Like, I've watched them, but they're not... They're like the Suicide Squad of Marvel for me. So, I don't know. They're too goofy for me. And Suicide Squad wasn't like that, but, you know, they're too borderline parody for me, which I've said lots of times on my channel. So, I wouldn't like him to do any DC movie, because I don't really like how he approached those movies. Yeah, sometimes they made me laugh, but, you know, by the end of them, I'm just like, okay, this is enough, you know? Excuse me. But it just makes it so much worse that he had this whole controversy. So, I don't know what they're thinking. I think when that happened, people were already like, okay, I'm done with this movie. I'm not even that interested anymore, as soon as they brought him on. So, sorry, I know I kind of got off topic, but just, you know, Suicide Squad in general. So, Idris Elba is supposedly going to replace Will Smith as Deadshot. I love them both. I really do. I would like to see Idris Elba join the DC movie universe, but not as him, because just cast him as someone who doesn't have who hasn't been casted yet, you know, like a character, like a lot of people have fan cast him as Jon Stewart, Green Lantern. That I think would work. Like, I think a lot of people would be happy with that. And since they killed him off in Infinity War, and he's no longer like tied to the Marvel universe, then, you know, go ahead and cast him as someone in the DC movie franchise. But I don't think he should replace anyone that was already casted as a character. Like, just give him a new character that hasn't been cast yet, you know? Because I think he would bring in a lot of, I think he would bring a big audience. I like him, personally. I like him as an actor. I like a lot of his movies. I don't think he's bad by any means. I don't think I would be unhappy with him as anyone in the DC movie franchise. But like I said, I would rather it be someone who hasn't been cast yet, someone we haven't seen on screen in a movie yet, instead of replacing someone who they want to recast. But like I said, I don't know how interested people are going to be in this next Suicide Squad movie. You know, I think things are kind of going downhill for them, except for maybe with, you know, Aquaman and Wonder Woman, the next Wonder Woman movie. I think I'm excited for Shazam. I think people are gonna like that one, but I don't know. I think they're just kind of a mess right now, Warner Brothers, with their DC franchise. I think that I think that they don't know what direction they want to go in. They're just like playing it by ear and taking it movie by movie and seeing what kind of response they get, and then deciding how they want to do future movies, or, you know, if they want to do reboots or whatever. And it just, I guess the fact that this whole Suicide Squad thing is going to be like a reboot now, it makes me nervous. And the whole Batman thing, not that they're calling it a reboot, but that it's not going to be Ben Affleck. Those kinds of things make me nervous as far as like what's going to happen with Henry Cavill as Superman and things like that. I don't think Gal Gadot's in any trouble with Wonder Woman, because her solo movie probably got like the most positive response out of all of their solo movies. And then Aquaman, he also got a good response. But so I think they're kind of in a safer place. But I'm really nervous about Henry Cavill as Superman. And, you know, now that Ben Affleck's gone, it's really sad. And I lost my thought. I was going to say something. But yeah, I think they're just kind of playing it by ear, and I don't know if they have much of like a plan as far as what they want to do with their whole franchise, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's a little disappointing, you know? It's kind of sad. Okay, I remembered my thought. It had to do with Superman. Because I did see recently also that supposedly they're going to focus on Supergirl being like the Kryptonian, kind of taking more of a front seat in the DC movie franchise and kind of putting Superman on the back burner a little bit. I don't know if that's true or not. I just happened to see that recently sometime when I was just kind of looking through social media. But, and don't get me wrong, I would love to see Supergirl in the DCEU. I really would. I think a lot of people would. It would be cool to see some more Kryptonians, and especially for those of us that love Man of Steel and Henry Cavill, stuff like that, as Superman. I think it would be cool if they definitely should introduce Supergirl. But I don't necessarily think that they should, like, kind of replace Superman's role in the DC cinematic universe with her. Like, they should both, why can't they both be that? I don't understand. You know, Kal-El is kind of like a mentor for her. And, you know, they're cousins. I mean, that's going to be weird. Like, that would be hard to explain. Like, I understand if she has a solo movie, but then even if she has a solo movie, you would kind of expect Superman to be involved somehow. Because he's part of her origin, I guess you would say. She's Kryptonian and, you know, stuff like that. You would expect him to be involved somehow, even if he doesn't necessarily have a cameo or something. But, I don't know, I think it would be kind of weird that all of a sudden Superman's not really involved that much in the DC cinematic universe, and then there's Supergirl, but you don't have I don't know. I just think that would be kind of dumb. But they should definitely have both, in my opinion. I would like to see Supergirl for sure, but that doesn't mean they have to kick Superman to the curb, you know. But, oh God, I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, recasting Superman would be worse than kicking him to the curb, I think. Don't recast him, please. Please, WB, please. Don't recast Henry Cavill as Superman. Sorry I went off on a tangent, but since I haven't made videos consistently for a while, you know, when I make one, I try to cover some topics that are on my mind. So anyway, let me know how you feel about these rumors of Idris Elba replacing Will Smith as Deadshot in Suicide Squad. Does it make you more interested in the movie, less interested? Does it kind of, are you going different about it? Just give me your thoughts or any of the topics I discussed. I kind of went off on a rant. But anyway, thanks guys again for watching. And as always, we'll see you next time.